guys, today's episode is called University Student Needing Help. Let's hop right in. Okay, hello, I'm a university student in Canada and I'm having a really hard time balancing all the things in my life. I go to school, try to keep good grades, and keep good relationships with my friends and work. I find that I push boys away a lot because I don't have time and I'm actually afraid to like them and have them not be willing to put up with my world of craziness. I have so many questions for you that I swear I'll probably send like 12 of these with you. Please don't tell me to pray. It's cool that you believe it, but it's not my thing. First off, that's actually good. I read that. I knew that that was there. Casey! Sorry, that's my brother. I read that on purpose. I knew that was there because that's one thing that I think is really important that you know, guys. First off, if you guys have followed me from my other channel, you know I'm religious, so that's part of me. And you know that it's a huge part of me. For those of you that have been following my channel, you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you know what's up. But second off, in the same respect, if you follow me and you know all that stuff, then you know that I'm never just gonna look at you and go, just pray. Now granted, I believe in the power of prayer, don't get me wrong, but I also don't believe in just going, okay, I'm just gonna pray. All right, what's happening? Come on. Like, I think that there has to be action behind it. And even though, you know, not to get too spiritual, but it's like, you know, I believe that you have to put action with prayer most of the time because you can't just be like, all right, God, make it happen. Like, that's not character, that doesn't develop character. But that aside, you should know that would never be my answer to you anyways. Okay, so that's just for everyone on this channel because if you followed me over here, I'm assuming you already knew that. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so you're doing all these things and okay, so basically you're saying that you are trying to balance everything and you like boys, but you find yourself pushing them away because you're worried that they won't be able to handle your crazy world. Let me just say, I relate to you a lot. I was the type of person that I thought I wasn't going to be married until I was like 30 to 35, somewhere in there, because I loved my work so much. I thought I was going to move to New York, do theater, no boys, done. Life had a different plan for me. And I met Dan, and that threw me a little bit of a curveball. But the thing that you have to know is you can't shut people out just because you're so busy, because that itself is a form of like, what's the word? Like self-preservation almost. You can't be afraid. It's almost like you're, being afraid to love people. So it's like, oh, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Obviously what you're doing, like that's very, very important. That is my work, my life. It's still a huge part of me, but Dan fits into the mix. And that leads me to the next point that a lot of girls feel like they have to choose and like, oh, no boy's gonna stand in the way of me and my dreams. Well, most of the time, if it's the right boy, they won't be standing in the way of your dreams. They'll be holding your hand and picking you up when you fall while you're walking to your dreams. And that sounds like the corniest saying on the planet, but that's true. I hear a lot of girls say that, like, I'm not gonna let them stand in my way, but you don't have to. Have some of my dreams changed since I've been with Dan? Yes, but I wouldn't say that I guess I'll change that to be with Dan. I mean, for goodness sake, he went to Singapore with me, to do what I wanted to do. Has changed in the sense of I decided not to go to New York because I wanted to be with him, but that would have changed anyways because I can't do theater anymore because what I was doing in theater was a lot of musical theater. I can't dance because of my joints. Like, things have worked out perfectly. I'm here with my family. I'm very close to my family. So that's how I feel. I feel like if it's the right boy, you can't shut people out because you're so busy. You know what I mean? You have to keep just living life and experiencing life. And if the right boy comes along, he will fit into the mix. It won't be like, oh my gosh, I have to choose and give up everything for him. Yeah, there's little bits of compromise, but it works if it's the right person, So I guess that's the best advice I have. Don't shut people out. Yes, keep trying to balance your life. I want to make sure I actually answered your question and double check your letter. Oh yes, okay, so one thing I left out, you said you're having a hard time balancing. Sounds like you're kind of balancing, other than the boy thing. But one thing is that you want to make sure you take one day off a week. Make sure you are taking a day to completely relax, unwind, recoup. We are not built to go 7 days a week, and you will get more done in 6 days than you will in all 7 if you don't take a day off, if that makes sense, because it'll be 7 days being completely frazzled and burnt out versus 6 super productive days because you had a day to relax. And a lot of times people think on that day, like people who are hyper workers like myself and another person in my family who will remain unnamed, think that if we take a day off, like that everything is gonna like, oh man, well if we did more on those other days, then we could relax on the 7th day. But that's not the case. You need to relax on that 7th day because you will work better and faster and harder on those 6 days if you just take a day off. So that will help you balance the rest of your life a little more if you're actually taking the time to let yourself get balanced, if that makes sense. So I hope that all of that kind of answered your question a little bit. And the opening, like I said, was not offensive to you. Like, that wasn't me mad at you or being like, oh, how dare you. I wanted to explain that to everyone about the prayer thing. You guys just have to know, coming to my channel, I can't help but give advice from that place because it's not just a religion to me. Like, that's how I live my life. So, but you also should know by now, as my brother's in there blowing, I don't even know, Mario Kart, he's like, you also should know that I also don't push things on people. I also don't, you know, I like to think I'm pretty level-headed too. I'm not like a crazy fanatic. So yeah. So that is it, guys. I hope you have a great day. I've been saying I'll see you tomorrow at the end of all these, but I don't even know what day I'm loading these up. So if this is a Friday, I won't see you tomorrow. But if this is another day of the week, I'll see you tomorrow, yo. Okay, bye guys.